Do you have any idea which of your software products accounts for the most cyber risk? I'll show you how to figure that out in this video. The vulnerability mitigation game in OT is substantially different from IT because you can't patch every so often. Therefore, the average OT infrastructure is plagued with much more cyber vulnerabilities than their IT counterparts. Several approaches exist to deal with this state of affairs, such as prioritizing vulnerable devices by their criticality and network exposure. In this video, I'll show you a different way to look at software vulnerabilities with the help of the OT-based OT Asset Management System. Did you ever wonder which of your installed software products accounts for the biggest cyber risk? Well, this question can be answered in OT-base within seconds. Go to Workflow CVE and select the Software tab. There you can see a list of vulnerable software that you have installed on your systems. By default, the list is for your global installed base, but you could limit the scope if you wanted to. Let's just focus on our full installed base because this will yield some interesting insight. As you see, the table is sorted by what we call the V-score. The V-score is short for vulnerability score and is the sum of all CVSS base scores for that product for the number of installations, which you see in the devices column. If we move down the list, you see how the V-scores are dropping. Note, for example, that a security product ranks pretty high, an indication that simply installing security software does not make your system secure per se. You can also see SCADA and engineering software further down the list. Let's assume we wanted to further analyze these findings and maybe also produce a couple of nice charts for management. For this purpose, we export the data to Excel and do some analytics in Power BI. All we have to do is to click on Excel Export and then load the resulting table into Power BI, where we visualize the data as a tree map. Here we can see clearly what we have expected already. Windows 7 accounts by far for the most cyber risk. So that should be a priority when it comes to mitigation, because why would we bother with other software applications that almost look insignificant for the big picture? And in OT, vulnerability management is always about the big picture and about prioritization, because you will never be able to mitigate all or even most vulnerabilities. Let's go back to OT-base in order to find out more about our Windows 7 systems. First, we see that it's 90 devices which still run Windows 7 Enterprise. Where are those devices? What is their function? And what else is running on them? Just double-clicking on the list entry tells us the full story. We see the known vulnerabilities in detail, but we know already that there is no point in trying to patch any of these because the product has reached its end of life. So the way to go is to update all affected devices to a newer OS version. In the installation section, we can see where those devices are. We can see that this first instance is in Unit 3 of the Body in White production hall. We can also see that apparently nobody really bothered to patch the device and that it runs prohibited software to make matters worse. So a good mitigation project would be to update all those 90 devices to a current operating system version and also make sure that patches are installed regularly. Doing so will dramatically raise the security posture. It will for sure make a difference, which cannot be said often about anecdotal mitigation efforts that we usually see in OT. To learn more about how the OT-based OT asset management system can help you make a difference with OT vulnerability management, go to langner.com/OT-base.